the hell? What the hell's going on?
So much.
What week are we on?
32.
Week infinity.
I think it's 19.
We'll figure it out right now. Ah, yes. We're back. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Krista.
We are parentally unprepared. Week 19.
We're podcast unprepared too. Hey.
Yeah, we are very podcast unprepared. We were doing things right before we went to record, and now we're playing catch up. Yes, we're episode 12, week 19. If we could add any more numbers to our whatever we got going on, we would be in so much numbers hell.
Where is episode pi? I want to know that.
Parentally beautiful minded.
I'm food minded right now.
Episode pi? What do you mean?
Like pi, the number pi.
What was that? 317?
0.14, I thought, right?
3.14?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't either.
What do I look like? A guy in school?
What do we do? Go to college?
Who am I? College educated?
Not at all.
Who is this?
Just barely.
Hi, welcome everybody. You can follow the show at PUnpreparedPod on Twitter. You can also email us at parentallyunprepared@gmail.com, which I'm checking right now to see if anything came in. Probably not.
We are podcast unprepared. Remember that.
We are ever unprepared. Let's see. No.
Is eating allowed on this podcast?
YouTube has emailed us, and so has Apple Podcasts. Oh, it's just ads. Never mind. Never mind.
Are they ads we get to read for money?
No, I wish.
Dang.
I would love some of that YouTube money. Some of that Apple money.
I promise I'm going to stop eating in a second.
By the ghost of Steve Jobs, please pay me something. Guys, welcome back to the show. We are... we're in the thick of it. We're over halfway at this point.
I love these new headphones.
Yeah, I did get you some new headphones.
These are so much better.
Dude, you were rocking the other ones for a long time. I
had no clue what I was missing.
I think I got those headphones you were using before you and I even met. I'm pretty sure I was rocking those.
I believe it.
A long time ago.
These sound amazing. They don't hurt my ears because they're the over the ear kind.
Yeah.
I got like a decent amount of earrings in my ears. So the ones that like just sit on your ear real lightly still hurt.
Yeah. I believe they are the
dog war.
They're all right. I believe they are the Audio-Technica M20Xs.
The new ones?
Yeah, the new ones are, which they've got a whole X lineup. It's like 20, 30, 40, 50. But I was like, you know what? We'll just get the 20s and see how it goes. They were on Black Friday sale.
These are great. So
they they look great too. So they look comfy. I think before they were on-ear headphones, so they were like kind of compressing your ears after a while.
I had to take like one off of an ear at a time so I could hear, but it not stay sitting on my ear too long and hurting.
They look very soft leather.
They're nice.
But welcome to the show, everyone. We're here, and it is Sunday, and it is week 19, 21 weeks to go. Oh my goodness. You're rocking a little, what's that, a mango? Mm-hmm. 6 inches, 8 ounces. Woo!
We tried to cut up a mango today, but it wasn't ripe enough.
How's it feeling? You feeling different? Is it getting weird? Like, so you were telling me the other day, certain positions are weird to sit in. Like, you're like, I can tell my organs have moved into different places.
Oh yeah, my spleen's definitely not where it used to be.
You're like, my spleen feels like it's in my armpit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the sleeping positions are starting to change a little bit. Like, 'cause we're close to 20 weeks, and
well, you've stopped sleeping so much on your back.
Which I woke up this morning on my back, and I was like, "Oh goodness, I hope that's okay."
Yeah, I don't know if she's quite big enough yet but at some point
she's gonna start pinching nerves and arteries.
It's gonna be
or something
really
like that. Yeah, there's something on that.
There's a horror story for everything. There's probably I bet we could search the internet right now and find horror stories about sleeping on your left side.
Oh yeah.
It's like you shouldn't do that because the baby will create a false sense of self, and when it comes out, it's going to just be an egomaniac.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. I went to bed crying last night because we found out the fiber supplement I'm having to take is like can possibly expose you to lead.
Yeah.
So I was just a tearful mess.
But I looked up and saw that almost every fiber supplement, if it's sold in the state of California, is going to have that thing.
It's Prop 65, I think.
Yeah.
It's something from the 80s where they have to list that basically anything grown in soil could potentially have lead in it.
Yeah. So it's not like we're not saying, ladies, don't take your fiber supplements. We're saying don't freak out when you see
I freaked out.
the 0.005%
Just know
chance.
if you do freak out, you're not alone. I freaked out. I cried.
And hopefully your loving husband's like, I'm falling asleep. It's going to be okay. I'm so tired right now, but
You're only
I
tired.
promise.
You're only tired because we binge watched Netflix for too long last
We
night.
did. Lock and Key. Oof,
Yeah.
it's a good one.
Yeah. Well, the writing's not great in places, but it is a fun show.
Oh, the characters are dumb as a bag of hammers, but the story is excellent.
And they really are dumb.
Yeah. If you're pregnant or expecting kids, it terrifies you about that too. Whether it's a boy or a girl.
We were just yelling at my stomach last night. You better not do that.
This better not be a thing. I was like, it won't be a thing because I'm going to lock her in a room. It's going to be great.
That's worked out so well
It's
for
going to be like the princess in the tower.
so-
what was that?
I don't know. What'd you do?
It's my notifications on Windows saying blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I don't have access to the computer, so this is all on you.
This is my bad. So to start things off today, we were talking about the registry last week.
Oh yeah.
And we finally got everything finalized and we started sending it out to family. I don't know if we've done a broad send out yet, but to the main.
We should do that.
Yeah, we probably should. We sent to the main a couple of the parents. I think we still need to send to some of the other parents.
Sure.
But literally, you finished it on Friday, I think.
Something like that. No, I finished on Thursday or Wednesday night or Thursday. I finished it before Thanksgiving.
Okay. Well, we sent it out, and we've already gotten our first couple of things in.
I was really nice.
It's very, very nice, very nice. Actually, listener of the show, Carrie and her husband Eric.
Oh.
Thank you very much, guys. Do you wanna let people know what we got?
Yeah, they got us the Sound Spa Lullaby and a
You're talking so quiet.
bomb diaper bag.
Okay.
It's not got bombs in it. It's just the bomb.
A bomb bag. Well, it's actually a bag to take care of bombs in diapers. Here, let me grab that while you explain a little more.
Yeah, so the diaper bag is black and tactical looking, and I dig it because it's really gonna honestly carry us through a lot more than just diapering. And it looks like it's gonna be a great hiking bag eventually when I get my adventure baby.
Well, what I like about it, and you pointed out too, you're like, that's not as big as I thought it was going to be, which is in a good way. Like
it's like the size of a large purse, but it's in backpack form.
Yeah.
Like when I was looking at it online, I kind of thought it was large, but it was the one we both kind of liked the look of the best. But it looked like a standard school backpack.
Yeah.
That was huge, and I was like, oh god, that seems big. But it came in, and it is actually smaller, which is better in my opinion. Like I like that.
It's
better.
the black on black Man Crow is the name of the brand. Man Crow backpack diaper bag, and it's got like these two giant sleeves on the side
for insulation
that are insulated
bottles
for bottles.
and stuff.
Like I got the shiny
There's
material.
so many pockets.
There's a lot of pockets. Like I
feel like
figure we're gonna put things in here and forget about them.
Oh yeah. That
And be
happens
like-
with all of our luggage. And
Like, oh my
backpacks,
God,
though.
there's like 10 pacifiers in here. I didn't even realize. Where'd all the pacifiers go?
You can never have enough pacifiers.
But yeah, there's so much space in here. It comes with a little, changing pad, right? So you so you don't have to lay your baby on a bare surface.
Exactly. Which, oh God, that gives me the heebie-jeebies to even think
I'm
about.
kind of freaked out about. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, man, if I'm going to be out with her sometimes, like there's going to be times where I'm going to have to go change her.
Which, I mean, like normally you can easily go back to the car and lay down one of those like changing pad table, like inserts like that thing has, and just lay them on the back seat. And
I'll tell you my nightmare. My nightmare was I was daydreaming. I was in the middle of IKEA with her.
Oh God.
And like, what do? You can't go all the way back to the car. That's like an hour trip.
They have bathrooms along the way though, and I think IKEA is actually one of the good like
Family
store-
bathrooms.
Yeah, well, they have family bathrooms, and I think the ones that don't have a family bathroom actually have changing tables in the men's room too.
Fine. I'm in the lumber section at Home Depot. What do I do?
You go back to the car, like I just explained.
Pull out a 2x4.
No,
Get a piece of plywood.
if you get splinters in my baby's butt, I'm gonna be so
I got the
mad.
changing pad. You do it right there in the middle of the store. There's no creeps, right?
No, none at all in Home Depot.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so the Mancro all black backpack diaper bag looks great.
It's got like straps where you can easily put it on the stroller too.
Pockets for days.
Why are you yelling?
I'm just the dogs. Oh no!
Ah! Yes.
I didn't mean to.
You got yelly and forgot our family-friendly podcast.
I didn't mean to.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
You thought it'd be
man.
funny.
All right, I'm on the board.
Yes, you are.
I'm on the board.
I think you might as well be on the board for the intro. You said hell twice in a matter of seconds.
No. None of that. None of that. What's the Bart Simpson rule, right?
It is the Bart Simpson rule, yes.
That's right. So go pluck yourself.
Yeah, but I really dig where it allows you to clip it to the stroller.
Watch your water.
I got it. Not that dumb. Like there's the clips, like the little, what do they call these clips? Our old dog used to chew these up.
Yeah.
Like if anything had one, she would.
They're called like belt clips. They're kind of like.
They're the ones with the two push prongs on the sides.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are just called like belt clips.
What are they called?
Belt clips.
Jeremy, they're not belt clips.
Let's see. Let's do the Google. What are the
Is this really Googleable? Is this
clips
interesting
on
enough to Google?
bags called?
God, I miss the 80s when you couldn't argue with people and just look it up. Or when you could argue with people and not look it up. I can't.
Quick release buckle clip.
Buckle clips. Thank you. Tybee, go lay down.
I was
girl.
close. Belt clips, right? I was close, but it's a buckle clip. Yeah.
I told you were wrong, though. She's so mad I won't give her food.
She can continue being mad,
Yeah.
and she can go out there and go, you know what, herself.
I was about to say, you almost got right back on
I
that
don't
board.
want to. When it comes to the dogs, I'm like, I don't give a bloop. I don't care.
Is there whiskey in your coffee this morning?
No, I'm just too much coffee in my blood is what it
That's
is.
actually probably true.
It's my
Okay.
third cup.
So we got, so our friends Curdy and Eric also sent us this My Baby Sound Spa Lullaby, which makes bunches of music and has all kinds of cool features that I didn't even realize it had when I picked it out. So it's got 6 soothing sounds. It's got Twinkle Twinkle, which is an awesome song.
Which is also ABCs.
It is. Rockabye, Cradle Song, Ocean Waves, Gentle Rain, Heartbeat, which I heard top-notch thing to get the kid to sleep because they're used to hearing my pulse.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and it's got a projector on top of it
What?
where it will project a little scene.
You're lying.
I'm not. It's on the box. See, I didn't even realize it, but it will
This is insane.
project.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it projects a little scene on top of the ceiling.
Are you opening it up? Are we going to see the projection on the ceiling?
I kind of want to see it. I know nobody else can see it, but I want to know what it does.
Is it is the songs are the songs going to be as creepy as the mobile tourney song?
yeah,
We
gosh.
got so part of what we did while she unboxes this, part of what we did this week, we kind of decked out the nursery a little more. Did you have a picture ready to go for me to put up on the Twitter?
Yeah, sure.
It'll be up by the time we post this recording. It'll be up and available. But we put up the mobile. We put up some pictures along the top of the crib. And so with the mobile, we actually have one of those little things you hang on there and you turn the thing, click, 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 click,
Click, click, click.
and it goes doo 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 doo.
All right, Sofia Vergara. How does the helicopter go?
But it's like super creepy sounding.
Yeah,
like I'm just like, it's one of those wind ups that doesn't quite finish. Like it'll just kind of stop in the middle of the song, and if you stand there long enough, it'll just go. You're like, what is this? All right, you got it plugged up. Power. I don't know. Just giving you crap.
That didn't work.
Uh-oh. Is it on the bottom? No. Let me see this.
I told you we should have done this before the podcast. He's like, save it for the podcast. See, I'm not crazy. There's just no button. There we go. Look, there's a sheep projection.
Oh.
It's a sheepy
Hold that.
and a puppy.
See, I think if you...
So it's got like 9 images that it'll project on on the ceiling.
Unbind.
I was a little worried that the mobile wasn't going to be like interesting enough because we went with something just
Turning the lights off.
kind of basic. Yeah, you're not on camera here. You can turn this off. Ooh, it's a puppy.
Oh, wow, that's kind of cool.
Project.
So this is the Sound Spa Lullaby by My Baby by Homedics.
There's a sound.
Ooh, is that the waves?
I think so. Rain.
There's a piggy. H-I-J-K. Oh, sorry. Feels like a Looney Tunes.
It does feel like Looney Tunes. Okay, so it says there's...
Is there a heartbeat? Where's the heartbeat?
I was trying to find that.
Find me that heartbeat. That's a weird heartbeat. It's not coming up. Hold it in front of the mic.
It is in front of the mic, son.
There you go.
Okay.
It's weird. It feels like I'm in an intense situation where someone's about to come and hurt me.
Yeah, baby's gonna be like, that heartbeat's way lower than mom's.
Blip, blip, blip.
That's a resting heartbeat of a healthy person.
Who's this healthy person I'm inside of?
Mm-hmm.
But thank you again to Carrie and Eric. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, me too.
That's way too nice.
Very, very sweet of
Way
you.
too nice. We got to do. We were talking about this in earlier. We got to start so they don't mount up. We got to start working on those little thank you notes early.
Yeah, I got a couple of them I got to write.
We got to jump all over it.
Here we go.
Yeah, leave the light show going.
Oh, shoot, move the mic. Sorry.
But yeah,
Look,
so
it's a piggy.
we got a pretty healthy little registry going. We're kind of pumped to get it pushed around and see what we get. I mean, a lot of the big ticket items we're already been talking to our parents about.
Yeah, I mean that's the hard part for sure. The other thing is you kind of, excuse me.
Good.
You amass as you go. A mask.
A mask.
I'm tired.
Yeah. You're tired from laying around for 9 hours watching Lock and Key last night?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's good. It's a good reason.
Late. Turn that light back on. I can't think with it in the dark.
Yeah, is it getting weird for you?
It's too much.
You can't think well in the dark?
I can't think well in the dark. I have to turn on the light when I go like work in the morning too. I've tried to like work with just the sunlight coming through the window and no overhead light, and I swear I just am not nearly as productive as when like the lights are on full blast.
I'm the other way around. So when I work
I know you are. You live in a cave.
When I work from home, you've come in and given me crap about it already, but like I have no windows in my office at home because we're down in a basement. And you're like, it's so dark in here. I'm like, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm also like, yeah, get out of my cave.
Yeah, you've always been that way. When we first started dating, you were like all things blackout curtains.
You finally brought me around to even just having the TV on when going to sleep. I used to just have to have silence and darkness.
Yeah, and I mean, and you brought me around to it's okay to go to sleep without the TV on too.
It's great. You still don't like it very much though.
If
I turn it off too early, you're like, no.
My brain just races for a while, so I need something to kind of like stop my brain from working overtime.
Yeah, well, something's gonna not even let that happen soon.
Yeah, I got a feeling.
just a few short weeks away.
It's funny because I can go to sleep in the middle of all kinds of things going on if the TV's on, but
oh, I know.
Not if
movies I want you to see, shows I want you to watch.
Well, I mean, have better taste.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry. Who has not canceled our Shudder subscription for the crappiest horror movies I've ever seen in my life?
Well, I see. Here's where I don't believe her is she's fallen asleep during Fargo. She's fallen asleep during other shows that she loves.
I'm falling asleep during the 4th episode in a row we've watched of Fargo.
Kingdom.
Like that.
Not because it's bad, just because she stays. She's like tries to stay up. You're kind of like a child when it comes to like you want to stay up so bad that you fall asleep.
Did you just compare me to a child?
Yeah.
Did you just call me childish?
Yeah.
Fight, son.
What are we fighting about? Facts? We're fighting about facts right now? I mean,
look at them. I'm sorry. The
dogs are insane. We actually had a very busy Thanksgiving weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, by the way. It's just passed for us. It's Sunday after. Mm-hmm. And we kind of we stayed home, but we had a pretty busy one because we were watching one of my parents' dogs. Mm-hmm. So the house was full of dogs.
We had 4 dogs this weekend or this week.
We had one dog yoink a brownie from you. Thankfully, she was okay. We were like, "What?" She's a counter climber. She's the only one of the group
of any of them, and even the.
And she's fast.
Oh, she's so fast. I walked outside for 6 seconds to ask you if the milk we had in the fridge was okay for me to drink, like instead of did we have it like saved for cooking?
And my answer was milk is never okay to drink because I hate it.
But basically, in the time I like popped outside holding the milk and was like, do we have any plans for this, like pancakes or anything? Can I drink it? The brownie was gone. Like I just turned around and she was on the other side of the room by then. Like not even licking her jowls anymore. And I was just like,
I was out on the porch and I just heard
I had a brownie.
No, I was out on the porch. I just heard, did you eat my brownie? And I was like, uh-oh.
And so it was a black bean brownie. I don't know if anybody's ever made those.
They're delicious.
They really are. They're like fudge and brownies have babies. But so I was like frantically looking up if like the chocolate and brownie mix was, and they were dark chocolate brownies, which is like the worst for dogs. So I'm like watching her like a hawk for the next 6 to 10 hours, just making sure she doesn't die.
And she's fine. Spoiler alert.
She's fine.
Dog's fine. Dog's really annoying still. Annoyance level, same.
She's fine. We love her. She keeps things interesting for sure.
Keeps us on our toes.
we gotta practice this when the kids being this way.
Oh God,
your face.
Kill me.
So, gosh, with the headphones, it's so much louder. That's probably
you
why.
Want me to turn you down a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, because I can hear myself so much better. It's probably why I'm talking so much softer.
No, yeah, it's here. Let me turn you down.
No, that's fine.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Is that good? All right.
I actually can't hear myself that well now.
Right.
Too much, Jeremy. Too much.
Better?
Oh, no, say something.
Hello?
Hello. That works. Yeah.
That goes for you? Okay. That's pretty much exactly where I'm at. So good.
Hey. Yeah, I'm not deaf. Yeah, so it was eventful. We had Zooms with the family all day.
Oh my gosh, let's talk about that for a second. What a nightmare that can be.
So we're being super cautious because of the pregnancy and all the unknowns that come with it, and it's just been a weird year already. So it's might as well continue being careful.
You don't want to give it up right away.
Yeah.
You don't want to give it up now because you've been careful this long.
Yeah.
So
your dad went out of town, so we weren't going to see
to visit siblings. Yeah.
Yeah. So we weren't going to see your side of the family this year. My parents moved out of state a couple years ago, or no, I guess it was this year. God, It's been a long year.
It's only been a year. Yeah.
So we Zoomed with them in the morning, and then my grandma's side, on my mom's side, that's generally where like we always end Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we always end up there for sure.
Yeah. And oh man, we Zoomed with them, and technologically impaired does not quite cut it for this side of the family.
Oh my goodness.
But
it was us.
We got it set up with them.
Right. Yeah, it was us, one of your cousins and her husband and their kid, and then the Thanksgiving group.
Yeah, like the cousin and her husband Zoomed in too.
Yeah. And it was one of those deals where we looked at each other and we were just kind of like, all right, so they were like, oh yeah, we're being careful. And we like looked at each other. I was like,
there are 5 people sitting on a 3-person couch.
I was like, essentially this is the same Thanksgiving without us there. That's it. That's the only difference.
There was
us and your cousin were missing.
And and this is groups of people that are still in full attendance of every mass gathering every week they can think to go to. And
it's just, just getting nervous. Like, that's the thing. I think I'm past the point of even being angry it's just I'm nervous. I'm like, so when? I just don't want anybody to be hurt. I don't want anybody to be sick.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, we're going to take our precautions regardless. So I'm not nervous for us. I'm nervous for our family.
Yeah.
Because, there were at least 3 people there that were over the age of 80.
Mm-hmm.
There were 6 people there over the age of 60. No, over the age of 55. So
details. There's a lot of old people there.
A lot of older.
Okay. Old fogies. Let's go.
We're not that far from those ages.
I'm not saying we're not old.
Yeah, we're old too. But so everybody's on top of each other. Everybody's been everywhere. So it's just, I was like, okay, well, I love you guys.
The passage of time is weird because I was talking to one of my buddies that goes to conventions with me, and we were talking about like when are things going to be normal again, like and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, dude, we're probably looking at like 2022 when things start to kind of look like, okay, maybe we can go to a convention or something like that. He was like, man, we'll be 40. I was like,
yep.
I was like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was listening to us be stupid the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, that like we talked about our 20-year-old one, and I was like, oh yeah, I will be 55, 56 when my kid turns 20.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, you've been listening back to some of these episodes, actually.
Yeah, I just put it on to make sure, I sound like I want to sound, don't sound like an idiot.
You sound great.
It's, no, I
sound wonderful.
I sound like an idiot, but it's okay. It's who I am.
Hey.
I'm accepting it.
You know who you married.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, don't know how I got here.
Just bring out the best.
But to go back to like, to go back to the Zoom stuff, like it was
chaos.
Well, it was chaos, but at the same time, it kind of made me think, man, it really does suck because you are pregnant and you don't get to enjoy that like everybody talking to you, and you don't get that part of the
few people I would let touch my tummy. I don't get to see. Yeah,
you don't get that that part of the culture around being pregnant. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, like the women descending upon me to dote and tell me all their stories
and to be to pass down motherly things.
And I'm not saying I need doting, but like that is who my family is on my mother's side especially, and like it feels weird, man. Like I totally when I was like thinking about how my first pregnancy would go many eons ago, many moons. I definitely always pictured my mom, my aunt, and my grandmother in a semicircle around me, just being like, "No, oh, I love it."
Yeah. I can't picture your grandmother doing that at all.
She ends it with a bless her heart.
Yeah. Like, let me feed you 2,000 calories in a bite.
Are you getting enough food?
Have
you gained any weight yet?
Yeah. This plate's only 10,000 calories.
We're gonna try to make her dressing, by the way, at Christmas. I've decided
we're gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, my other cousin that zoomed in with us, she tried to make my grandmother's dressing for Thanksgiving so they could like kind of mimic being there. And oh man, my grandmother wrote down the recipe just slightly wrong.
Yeah.
So it requires 6 boxes of chicken stock.
Oh.
And my grandmother just wrote 6. And so my cousin took that as like 6 tablespoons, I think.
6 ounces.
Or 6 ounces. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 6 ounces of chicken stock. It's
like not even 6 cups. We're talking about 6 boxes. But she also makes like, how many pans? Like 4 or 5 pans.
She makes enough to send to church like the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we always go home with a pan.
Oh, like a huge pan. More food than me and you can eat. Eating it every day for a week after Thanksgiving.
There's a reason why there's like a 10 to 15 pound bloat after the holidays on a normal basis.
Yeah. So my cousin's recipe, she showed us it on the Zoom call. It turned out like croutons.
It just looked like a pan of croutons.
It really did. I was like, well, you got salad croutons for the week.
Delicious croutons.
She made a second pan and she said it turned out much better. But I was like, okay, I want to try my hand at this too now because, this is the family recipe. And my grandmother just doesn't, she's not fazed by it. She's like, it's like out of a bag, but with like dressed up. And I'm like, I don't care. It's my grandmother. It's the same dressing my grandmother's made for 3 decades.
Here's the thing that we've got to work on, and is, you know, we already kind of started with your grandmother getting her to write some things down. Like she's kind of like my mom, where she's like, it's just kind of by feel.
Yeah.
When it feels right, it's ready to go in the
I
oven.
called your mom to make sausage balls for us for Thanksgiving breakfast.
They were delicious.
She was like, well, I'm going off memory. Like the whole time I talked to her, she's like trying to find where she had written it down once upon a time. And she's like, I just do it all from memory now. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's just kind of like, so it's going to be our responsibility for our kids and nieces and nephews to get all this stuff written down, because it's just not going to, no one's going to, there's so many recipes with my great grandmother on my mom's side that aren't written down because she did it all by memory. She did it for so many years.
The dumplings.
Yeah, no one knows.
Yeah.
Everyone's just kind of like, I think it's kind of like this. My mom is probably the closest to getting it the way she had it. But man, just like all that knowledge, all that, you know, all that delicious knowledge is just gone, you know?
Oh, well, and my family didn't teach me any better, because all of my good recipes are stuck in my head too, not written down anywhere.
But I'm almost wondering if that's like...
part of it.
If that's part of it, if that's part of what makes it so awesome, is the fact that it's done purely with brain power and love. You know what I'm saying?
How many times have I made like just a random dish out of the pantry and you're like, how'd you make this? We should make this again.
I don't know. I just kept adding things till it tasted good.
Oh God, yeah. I made loma, so a Peruvian dish that we love. I tried to like recreate it kind of based off a recipe, but not really, kind of messing with it too. And I got it right. Like I got it really right one time. And you were like, how did you do this? We got to make this again. And I was like, I don't
And there's
know.
been so many where she goes for the second time and it's just kind of like, I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
But man, that first time was like lightning.
Oh, that first time I made ramen.
Yeah.
The first time I made ramen, we did it really well. And then like we've made it 2 or 3 times since then. It's nothing like it. Sucks.
I think what happens, and I could be wrong, I think what happens is the first time you're just kind of like, well, let's see what happens. And then the second time you're like, now the pressure's on because I've done it good.
Maybe.
And now you're like overshooting, like, because you're like, maybe it needs more of this. You're just overthinking it. Whereas before you're just kind of like, well, let's throw it together and see what happens.
Yeah.
The spontaneity versus the planning is really weird when it comes to cooking. And I don't know if there's anything, I guess when maybe like the only thing I can compare it to is when you're doing like something creative and spontaneous. Like if you're sitting down to do a podcast, like if we were to look over and be like, oh, we didn't record this whole thing, like we would be trying to recreate the reactions, all this other stuff, and it would sound terrible.
Oh, is that like the reaction you tried to recreate when I said this thing has a projector?
Dude, my recreation of that reaction is amazing. Wait, tell me, what's the feature on there?
It's got a projector on the top.
What? It has a projector?
Yeah.
Wow. This is really cool.
Wow.
I am excited.
It automatically goes off. He's looking over at it now, wondering why it's not on.
Yeah.
It automatically goes off.
What's the
15 and 30 timers?
What's the feature again?
A projector.
What? Ty, there's a projector.
Yeah, back when but you like
gather the village.
Okay.
Sorry.
The joke's over. Jesus
right,
Christ.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wanted to get people in here for this.
What people?
Go get the neighbors.
Bring
the dog.
Jeez, stop. Move on with your life, sir.
I don't want to. I'm working on my acting skills. Babe, did you know there's a projector in this thing?
I'm gonna flip your chair.
What?
I'm gonna cry. Sorry, make him stop. Ty thinks I'm crying. I'm actually crying.
He's coming over to protect you.
Yeah, you're talking about spontaneity. So when I used to draw, when I could draw, back before I just dumped that skill set from my brain, I'd start off drawings like from my head just with a squiggly line. I'd just be like, well, just draw a squiggle and see where it goes. 2 of my best drawings worked out that way, man. Like, and they are lost to the eons, sadly. But it was a sea lion with a ball on his nose that I drew absolutely perfectly when I was like maybe 10. And like a Chinese New Year dragon. I did that way one time. Like, and it all started with squiggly lines. It's just that thing where you're just like, let's see what happens. And yeah, I think there is something to that approach, though, is basically what that long story was to get around.
You had the beginnings of like an Ed Hardy jean designer.
I love how you reduce all of my talents to just jokes. You jerk.
Here's how my brain works. Someone's telling a story. I'm like, how do I punch the shit out of them with a joke?
I'm going to have to protect our child from you and your mental.
I was even asking you that. I was like, how many times do you think I'm going to scare the
Yes. I yelled right into the mic on that. Sorry.
Oh,
Makes me so happy.
How many times?
Write it down, son.
I was trying to get past it.
No,
like
you have to bleep it at some point.
I know, 35, 15. So you need to get on the board. You're falling behind.
I'm doing great.
I was like, how many times do you think I'm going to scare the absolute heck out of the child?
Enough.
She's like, too many.
No.
Too many times. And it won't even be me like hiding to jump out and scare.
You're just going to scare her like I do, like you do me all the time.
It'll just be me walking around the house. Pinky and the brain. Pinky and... We've been singing that all day. But
We've been watching anime.
I'm just loud and obnoxious.
You really are loud.
There doesn't have to be a microphone on. It just... I'm so stupid.
What were you doing the other day where I was just like, will you stop talking? Like, I love you, but you have to stop talking at some point.
I did something last night and I like gave myself a cramp laughing so hard. You
did. We were going to bed at 2 a.m. and you just like wanted to be awake. Like it was like a toddler fighting sleep. You just started making yourself uncontrollably laugh. And I was like, Stop talking. Stop talking. It is bedtime.
Someone was telling me the other day they were laughing at something we had recorded. Maybe it was...
Why?
Well, I remember what it is now, but they brought it up and I was kind of like, you're gonna have to remind me. What episode was that? Like, what was the joke? And then I remembered once they kind of gave me some context clues, but I was like,
spell it.
Oh, it was the banish him to the couch.
Oh yeah, banish him. You wouldn't stop.
Yeah, it was that whole bit, and I completely forgot. I was like, honestly, this stuff comes in. I say it, it goes away.
Oh, is that the genius? Is that the genius that we need to tap into every time?
No, yeah, absolutely. The goofy genius.
Sorry.
I mean, I am.
Do I need to sarcasm
I'm
this up a
so
little?
funny. I don't know where it comes from.
Do I need to drip this with a little more sarcasm?
Shush.
Okay, good.
But
we're there. We're established.
It's kind of like ties into that spontaneity we're talking about with cooking. Like it's just you can't recreate some of that stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to try to recreate something I made out of the pantry one time where we just had lentils and onions and garlic. And I was like, what can I make? And I made a curry tomato soup out of it.
Curry lentil, right?
Yeah, it was a curry and lentil tomato soup. So
you've done it a couple times since then.
Have I done it? Okay.
Well, you did it that first time.
A soup party,
and you surprised yourself, and you're like, I'm gonna do this for the soup party. It's just kind of like a side soup because your main dish that you do from memory.
Have we talked about the soup party on here?
I don't know if we have. We usually do a soup party every Christmas. I think we brought it up last week, like briefly.
Okay.
Because we were talking about things we weren't going to be doing for the holidays.
I didn't know if
this
everybody
year.
listening was going to be like, what the hell is a soup party?
So usually a week or two before Christmas, what we end up doing is a soup party for all of our friends and any family that wants to come here at the house. And what happens is...
It's like a potluck.
It's kind of like a potluck, but the main theme is soups. So bring a soup you're good at. You can bring other things. You can bring like we have a friend that always brings a buffalo chicken dip.
Yeah,
we got a friend that makes a beer cheese every year.
Like Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah,
and stuff
people
like that
bring
too,
like desserts, but the main thing is bring soups, and usually we end up with like 10 to 12 soups. Chilies.
Yeah.
You do gumbo every year, which is, are you going to do gumbo this holiday?
I was going to ask you about that. We probably should.
It makes so much. Just make a big pot.
I could just make
and
a small.
freeze it.
Well, I can make it. Oh, I could make a big pot to freeze because everybody keeps recommending that you make food ahead of the baby getting here and freeze some.
We need to do a food, just a food episode. When we get to that point, we just need to do a food episode, and we'll make the list here live.
Okay,
that'd be great.
Sounds good.
But
we're getting to that point because you need to build those recipes over time because you're not going to get it all in one shot.
Oh, that would be the longest.
You
prep
need
day.
to start asking your chat and your video games what their favorite freezable like lasagna, casserole dishes, soups are, things like that. Because
I got some resources.
Y'all talk food a lot.
We talk food a ton,
and it's good food too. So I'm open for that. What do you got? That's not yours.
What is that,
doggy? This is your mic case.
Oh man,
get it. She just finds things we leave on the floor. She's like, "You dropped this. Let me play with it." You're on the headphones. Stretchy. They're stretchy. Okay, they are stretchier than I thought. I thought he was about to get jerked back to the table.
But yeah, so we do this soup party every year, and like I said, we end up with like 10 or 12 soups. We end up with food for like 2 weeks afterwards.
But the gumbo is something that's not written down. Like,
yeah, the gumbo is something that's not written down, and you do it really well. And so we're not having that this year, obviously.
The party,
the
not
party,
the gumbo.
the party. But yeah, it's the soup party is something that we've done 5 years now, 5 years in a row, I think.
I think we've done it ever since we've lived here. So this would be 7 if we.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
so
if we were doing it, so
and
we're skipping a year.
2020 was going to be the first year we did a summer version of that.
Yeah, we're
So
going to do a taco party.
But obviously
Guess that ain't happening.
pandemic. But who
It's
knows?
November, so I guess we missed it.
So we're dropping back and punting for 2021. But yeah, so you made this curry lentil soup a second time as kind of like a side to your. It was an easy to throw together. Made us an extra soup in case
I think I
we're
made it
always
with
paranoid that people aren't going to show up with enough soup.
Yeah.
So you make like your gumbo, and then you make another soup.
I made a
almost
clam
always.
chowder one year that was really good too.
You also make some pretty potent apple cider.
Yeah, I always make the spiked apple cider that stays on the stove and warm. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Smells the whole house up of liquor and apple cider.
Boozy apples.
Yeah, we're not having that this year either, sadly. I don't know.
for
I might go get some sugar-free apple cider and join you in some virgin apple cider.
Some virgin toddies.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the lentil soup, though, I made it with chicken stock with us the one time I was cleaning out the pantry. But for the soup party, I made it with vegetable stock because we have a couple of vegan friends and vegetarian friends, and they never have enough options either.
Right.
So
And the past few years, actually,
We've had two or three
We've had
for
like
them.
2 or 3, which
Yeah.
has been really cool.
So, yeah, we need to start thinking about our.
We need to hit up our friend Scott and find out about that beer cheese soup.
He made a Guinness stout beer cheese soup with like rye croutons last year. That was
Homemade
a
rye
hit.
croutons. Woof.
It was a hit.
Dude, people were making a run on it. I think we only got like a bowl as our leftovers.
One time we had a friend bring the Italian wedding soup, like the sausage and kale. It's not Italian wedding soup. I'm sorry. I'm getting them mixed up. It was a sausage and kale soup that's based off of Olive Garden soup recipe. She brought that, but she came late. So basically everybody was full by the time she got here. And we sent home anybody who wanted them with leftovers.
Yeah.
I just arranged that sentence all wild, but you know what I mean. And we had like 3 huge Tupperware containers of it. And when we like busted them out for some like leftover soup in January, it was so good. I was like,
Yeah.
how did this soup get missed?
Yeah, it was really cool. Like the soup party requires logistics when you're like, all right, I want to try as much as possible. I don't want to be over full. Oh no, my mom's brought chicken and dumplings. Now I'm going to be way too full.
Half the time I don't even get any of my gumbo because I'm too busy trying other people's soup.
And I think that's what I'm okay with. Like I try to work my way through new stuff first and then up to stuff that I'm familiar with. But it's so hard because people bring we've got a friend that brings spicy chili every year. That's amazing.
So good. And he tries different versions every year. So it's always like something you've never had.
And it always burns your face off,
Yeah.
but it's so delicious that you're like, I gotta go back for more.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And your mom has a chili recipe that is the gold standard to you that is not very terribly spicy. And
Oh yeah, it's nice.
it gets made every other year or so. So anyway, it's great. But to tie in our soup party dilemma with the fact that we are actually recording a podcast about having a child,
I
not
know.
about soup
We're
parties.
just getting really sad that we're not having that party. So as you can tell,
This was going to be our last soup party without a kid. So now we have to work the logistics of having a child in the house who will most likely be sleeping, hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, with hosting a huge party.
people do it. It's fine.
I know. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it'll
because
be
by
fun.
the time that party rolls around, we'll have a 7-month-old.
Yeah,
Jeez.
sleeping through the night
Good Lord, looking ahead in the future.
with the
Scary.
sound machine. The sound machine will provide the sound spa with projection. By the way, will provide much white noise.
Much white noise needed. Did the dog wake you up?
white noise.
Did the dog wake you up next door this morning, by the way?
Yeah. Well, yes. So I don't know if that woke me up or if I was already awake, but I know it was barking.
Yeah, we've got, so our room is right next to what the nursery is going to be, and both of those windows line up with our neighbor's yard, who has a new puppy.
Oh, barky, barky, bark, bark.
And a new fenced-in backyard.
Yeah.
And it's deer season. Well, it's deer run-around season. It might not be deer hunting season. But.
Yeah, so basically we back up to some woods, and there's a lot of deer that traipse through our neighborhood and around our neighborhood and in our neighborhood. And what happens is when all the leaves fall, you can see clear through the woods. Like there's probably, how far away? That's probably a couple hundred yards.
Yeah.
Will be a couple hundred, maybe 300 yards away is the actual bypass that goes around our town. It's like a loop. During the summer, you can hardly hear it. You can't see it. You can hardly hear it. You can't see it. But in the wintertime, when all the leaves fall, there goes all your sound dampening, and you can see through the woods. So you can see deer off in the distance. So if we can see it, the dogs definitely can, and then the dogs next door just start going crazy.
Oh yeah,
they just see them, and obviously the deer aren't scared, so they just stay there the whole time.
And we have dogs on both sides of us, and obviously we have dogs. They all bark all the time. But the dogs on the other side that are older, that we're really used to, are on the opposite side of the house from our bedrooms.
Mm-hmm. And as they're getting older and getting more calm and not quite as crazy barky as they have, is when the other neighbor now has dogs that are going to be around for at least 12 to 14 years.
And honestly, after you're 7 or so, it's going to be fine. But those are all the formative nappy years.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
going to be interesting.
So it'll probably start calming down around the time she's going to kindergarten, first grade,
If then, yeah.
This dog wants up in my lap so bad, and I'm not giving it to her.
Don't give it to her. She's been needy lately.
I'll give her pets. She can have on the ground pets.
On the ground.
But yeah, so Thanksgiving was cool.
I need a bathroom break.
You need a bathroom break?
Sorry.
The bathroom break
brought to you by Swanson Chicken Stock.
No. It's brought to you by the Sound Spa Lullaby.
Okay.
By Homedics. They're My Baby line, and it has what? It has
a projector.
A projector.
Oh.
All right, we'll be right back.
What? What? Back in business.
Back in business. I've got to go over something with. I don't know if we're going to go over on here, but a friend of ours in Sweden is sending us a 16-pound package.
What?
Of Swedish goodies, candies, snacks.
Do I need to take all the candy off the grocery list then?
I don't know. Well, the postage he sent, he's like, it's 5 days so it should be there in 5 days to 3 weeks. I was like, okay. It's all shelf stable stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a hard one to say. Shelf stable stuff.
None of this needs to be in here.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that. I was just looking at it while you were gone, because he sent like a bunch of messages like, okay, when you get this, blah, 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 blah.
Edit all this out.
No, we're leaving it. We're leaving it.
This has nothing to do with this.
Well, I'll edit it out.
No, you won't.
Wink, wink.
Just like you leave in all the other things I tell you to edit out.
We found that out. I thought I took that out. Oh, well.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So what's going on with the baby this week?
Wait.
Oh, you got something.
I just remembered we're building a table next week.
Yes, we are. Our dining room table.
Yeah. We're going to build the table
We've got the
our
lamba.
family will gather around for years and years to come.
We got the lamba.
I'm very excited about this.
Yeah. I've already built one similar to it, but it's going to be longer than this one. It's actually my table in my studio. It's a 6-foot table.
Yeah.
Farmhouse style. And we're going to do an 8-foot version of that.
Yeah.
With benches.
And it's going to be our gathering place.
I know. It's going to be weird.
I'm very
when we
excited.
get it together, like all the images that are going to run through your head.
What if I hate the rug underneath?
Sounds like your problem.
Oh,
not
rude.
mine.
Rude.
Not my problem.
Uh-huh.
You're going to love it.
It's both our problems.
I'm gonna will this thing into being a good thing. You're going to love it. It's going to be great.
No, I'm going to love the table. I know that. I'm just thinking we might need a new rug.
No, we don't. We won't.
I'm very excited about it though. We'll get to carve our names in it in 2020. And
where are you going to carve your names?
Right,
on my
underneath it.
Pro table.
Underneath it.
Okay.
Your pro table.
Pro table.
Your pro table.
How are you going to carve? Are you going to use the Dremel, or are you going to... You can Dremel it.
I could.
So it actually looks good.
Yeah.
So it's not like or do you want to scratch it in like old school style, like on the side of a tree?
Nah. Dremel.
Really? Okay.
Maybe we can scratch it. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to I wasn't even thinking about doing something like that, but looks like we are.
Yeah, we'll put like 2020 dumpster fire. JK.
Can you draw a dumpster on fire?
I can.
All right, awesome. Yeah, well, the day we complete it, we'll have to put a date and all that stuff.
It'll be fun.
It'll be cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully passed down through the ages if the world doesn't end.
I've been liking the concept of having like furniture items to pass down. They can't be too big. I know we're talking about 8-foot dining table here, but so many things have gotten passed down to us that are huge pieces of furniture.
That armoire upstairs in the baby's room is huge.
Your grandmother's dresser is huge. Yes.
Yeah.
There are many things. I know.
Big, heavy, back-breaking type of things to move, basically.
Yeah. So we're going to try to pass down.
I believe that armoire's made my life flash before my eyes a couple times moving it. I'm like, is it tipping back? Am I about to die?
Yeah.
It's definitely going to crush me.
No more up-down apartments for us. We're good.
That was terrible.
Second floor walk up. Yeah. We definitely had that thing in there.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Just IKEA. If we ever have to move into an upstairs thing, it's like, just sell all this stuff. IKEA.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The light stuff.
Be all right with that. But we're going to keep that 8-foot dining table. It's going to weigh 1,000,000 pounds. It's going to be great.
Yeah, so we're going to construct it out in the carport, so it's easy and comes right into the kitchen area. We don't have to carry it very far.
We're just going to put the legs on once we get it.
We'll put the legs when it's inside because it'll be easy to get into the door that way. But yeah, so we've got the stain, we've got the polyurethane to seal it, we've got all the wood.
You got the bench wood too?
I got the bench wood as well.
Heck yeah!
So we should be, by the time we talk to you guys next weekend, it'll probably be drying. Maybe that's kind of the plan.
Hopefully,
but
yeah.
I'm
if
hoping
the weather holds out.
Yeah, if it's too humid out, I don't want to do it. But because we're letting the wood cure for a week at least. It was all delivered on Friday, so
it's gonna be great.
By the way, if you have big projects going on, might I suggest whatever your big hardware store is, if they have like a delivery. Oh my goodness, it was so worth the $70-$80.
Yeah.
To get all that wood delivered. I was like, you mean I don't have to go out and gather it myself?
And my pregnant helper doesn't have to help me. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like they pulled right up with a forklift and dropped it into the carport right where I wanted it to sit.
It
right
was
next to where I'm going to be working on.
Once we saw how much it was and how long the wood was that we needed for such a large project, it was totally worth it.
We had access to a truck, but it's one of those trucks that's like just too tiny for long, like really long pieces of lumber.
12-foot boards. Yeah.
Yeah. So we it was well worth that. And we got other things delivered too. You had a bunch of potting soil, you had all kinds of stuff. But I'm really excited to get the table together. And like you said, I've been thinking about like, okay, the memories that'll be created around this table.
I'm so excited.
And it'll actually be really good for whenever the next soup party does happen, because it'll be a ton of space for people to sit down. That's usually the problem with our soup parties is we have to use all the surface space to set all the soups out. Mm-hmm. And then everybody just kind of has to sit and hold their bowl.
Well, and that's because we have like this long ranch style house that's kind of broken up into very distinct rooms.
Got a front living room.
Yeah.
Got a dining room / living room attached to the kitchen.
Yeah. So we don't have like a big open floor plan, which would be lovely, but at the same time, for one day a year, we make it work. Because the rest of our life actually works really well with the fact that the room is more like got its cells of activity.
Well, and being down south,
cells of activity.
Usually at that point in December when we have that party, it hasn't gotten terribly cold, so people are able to go step out on the back porch.
Yeah, for the first few years we threw that party, that porch should have been condemned.
Yeah,
I can't believe nobody got hurt.
We actually pushed people out into the carport more than the back porch. Yeah. But the rest of the year, we were talking about it the other day. We're like, man, this is so much nicer to have the front living room set up as almost like a theater. It's like just an entertainment room where we can sit, watch movies, and not have to have all the busyness of the other room right there next to us.
Yeah. So
because we talked about knocking that wall out.
We did, or even putting French doors in it so you could just walk between the two a little more easily. But I kind of like it. We haven't done the setup where we actually had access to the front living room yet because we just remodeled that since the last party, and this was going to be the first year we did it. So it will be interesting to see the whole new world that is opened up with by the time the world returns to normal and you can have gatherings at your home again.
For sure. What is going on with the baby?
There's so much going on.
What's going on with the baby?
So I think I felt removed this week. I'm not
we
sure.
both felt her move this week.
Yeah. So
We think so.
baby
Could have
science.
just been gassy.
Feel that kick. You may be able to feel the baby move for the first time this week, but don't panic if you still don't. You will soon. So everything I'm reading online, everybody feels baby movement a little differently, or there's just so many ways you can feel it. But the one that kind of rang for me when I thought I felt it was someone described it as a machine gun of bubbles. I mean, it was just like that rapid too. So it didn't feel like, gas bubbles or something like that. It felt like a bubble machine, like when you were blowing bubbles as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, felt so weird.
Yeah. I think, and I put my hand like that night when you said you felt it, I put my hand, and I'm pretty sure I felt vibration.
Yeah.
And you were like, I don't feel anything. I was like, put your hand here, and then you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, so he could feel like a vibration on the surface that I couldn't feel inside, like my stomach. So, and then he put my hand there, and I could feel it too. And I was like, "What is that? Oh my gosh, that's wild!"
and it was kind of like shotgun bubbles.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a pulse at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so
I couldn't tell. Like, I always get weird because I'm like, am I feeling my pulse in my hand, or am I feeling something moving?
It was interesting. I wonder if that was it, because I really wanted to feel her move.
What is this? Skin coating. Your baby's sensitive skin is now covered in vernix. I don't know how to say this.
What's vernix?
Caseosa. Caseosa?
I don't know what that says.
Vernix caseosa. A greasy white cheese-like coating. Oh god, that just made my stomach turn.
Yeah.
Cheese-like coating that protects her skin, from being wrinkled at birth.
So that's why babies come out all waxy looking.
Yeah, it's moisturizer. They're moisturizing in the womb. Just breathe. Your baby's lungs are developing with the main airways called bronchioles beginning to form this week.
Okay, so I'm definitely staying away from anybody coughing right now.
Bronchioles.
I need them lungs to be strong.
Strong lungs. I actually, speaking of, I went and got COVID tested last week.
Yeah, how'd it go?
We're clear.
They scratch your brain?
It was intense. It was more intense the first time. This is the second time I've had the nose swab done, and it was really intense. I was like, whoa. I mean, it wasn't unbearable, but it's just a sensation you're not used to feeling. But it wasn't bad. I think anyone should get it done if it's available to them.
Yeah.
But we're kind of using me as the litmus to see if you need to go get anything done. So
well, and they're gonna definitely test me when I start showing up at hospital visits and stuff, I'm sure. So
yeah, they will.
Yay!
Hooray!
Oh, we got a pediatrician this week too.
We did get a pediatrician this week. Oh yes,
we feel like we're doing stuff.
So all right, so let's talk about that for a second. We got a pediatrician. We set up our first appointment with them.
Before the baby gets here, which.
Yeah, they wanted to do a...
When I stopped and thought about it, it made sense. But I was also like, what?
Yeah, I told her the date because I called them up, gave them all the info. And the lady on the phone was like, okay, well, let's get you in March 3rd. Our pediatrician likes to do a meet and greet before the baby's born, just so you can ask any questions because once this thing gets going, it gets going quick.
Yeah.
So...
Feels that way, yeah.
We decided on a hospital long ago anyway, but they were like making sure we had a hospital lined up, making sure, they did ask, are you planning on vaccinating your child? And I was like, yes, who wouldn't?
Yes.
They're like, good, because we won't see anybody who doesn't vaccinate their kid. And I was like,
QR Gmail filling up now.
Yeah. So, and so that made me feel good. They're like, yeah, we're not dealing with that. And so we have a friend of the family, who is a doctor that kind of gave us a list. Mm-hmm. And what was nice about the practice we went with is 2 people off of this 4-person list he gave us are in the same practice together.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that's great. So if for some reason, like our doctor were to have to go for some sort of family thing, the other doctor's still there. So
exactly.
And they both got great ratings. So I'm really kind of excited, man. And it's something we can bring to your other doctor that's been giving us the ultrasounds because they've asked you every time, like, you have your pediatrician yet? Yeah. We're like, no.
And pediatrician's right down the road from my OB. So
it's right around the corner, which is great.
It's super convenient, and which is all really close to my office too. So when I eventually end up back at work, like if I gotta run the kid, next step is daycare.
Yeah, that's my homework this week is trying to sort that out because it's in such demand. that you got to plan now, starting now.
Like we don't really know exactly what the plan is there. We basically have to start with step one, which is what are the options? Because neither of us can have the ability to stay home indefinitely. So we will eventually be needing some daycare services.
We have a short term. We have a short term setup for when the baby arrives.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not something that can be
long term.
Yeah. I'm actually blocking off. I'm blocking off a certain amount of time, and if it turns out that we don't need that full amount of time, I'm going to go back to work earlier than planned, just because we want to hang on to any of that time in case it's needed down the road for sure.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hang on to what time I can, because we are like probably still going to be dealing with some pandemic like ripples of some sort. So sick days, things like that.
It definitely won't be over by the time.
Yeah, like we'll have a newborn, which they get sick anyway, especially if it's going to be a new
sick.
Yeah, and they get us sick, and especially if it's going to be a kid in daycare, they're going to bring home stuff, like, so all that will be needed.
The great thing
I'm
is,
not saying I'm going back as soon as possible, because I don't want to, but
the great thing is both of our jobs have that work from home ability, so that's hopefully going to be something that helps by that point, but we don't know. We don't know what that's going to look like until we're there.
I don't think mine's going to want to use that in this situation. They only do that really when they have to. So we'll see. This could have changed a lot. You guys have been doing work from home since March. So yeah, but I'm sure they're eager to get people back in the office and things running normally. So
sure. But they do know that it's possible. They know. See, before you guys would do these tests, be like, okay, let's just make sure the system works. But that's not a true gauge of,
can the whole company function like this?
Right. Yeah. It's not a true gauge of of productivity, which, I guess you guys have been killing it. So.
Yeah, we've been killing it. It's
been nice.
No, we promise we'll do what we're supposed to.
Let's see here. Your body.
My body.
At week 19, leg cramps. Oof. You've been having any leg cramps? You've been having like restless legs, but have you had like cramps?
Not cramps. Restless legs for sure. Like I just can't get comfortable, but there's no reason. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm not uncomfortable, like nothing's painful specifically.
You're fickle.
Exactly. Like, but that's not changed at all. So, it's just like the dog, I'm not letting the dog up on the couch with me as much as she does not understand it. And I'm like, I need the whole couch. I'm sorry. I have to spread out.
It says, there's nothing like getting into bed at the end of a long, exhausting day, especially when you're pregnant, aching for a good night's sleep, literally. If your back's been acting up again, you throw back the covers and prepare to happily drift into dreamland. But if you're like many expecting moms, something may keep you awake at night. Leg cramps.
Uh-huh.
These painful spasms that radiate up and down your calves are very common during the second and third trimester. While these cramps can occur at night, they can occur during the day. You'll notice them way more at night. Oof. So
trying to eat bananas, man.
You've been eating a lot of bananas.
I've been trying to eat all kinds of good stuff.
Feeling the baby's kicks is coming.
I want to.
Everybody we've talked to that's been a mom's like, yeah, wait till they just start really kicking.
Yeah, they're like,
and you see footprints.
You're not going to want them to kick. And I'm like, maybe, sure. I understand what you're saying. I get it. But right now, I want to feel her move.
It says, your sister said she felt her baby kick by this point in her pregnancy, and so did your best friend. But so far, you haven't really felt anything. Sounds familiar? Mm-hmm. Except those gas bubbles in the morning. Or were those gas? Maybe, maybe not. Those first tiny kicks may be felt in different ways, anytime on average between 18 and 22 weeks, as the merest flutter or an insistent slug, or as gas bubbles that aren't gas at all. For days, you might be sure that it's just all the dried fruit you've been eating. Some of it has to do with your size. The thinner you are, the more likely you are to feel movements earlier.
Oh, we made this joke last week.
No, that's true. Some of it also has to do with your muscle tone. For example, the more lax your uterine muscles, the easier it is to feel those kicks, which is why second timers generally feel them sooner than first timers.
Okay.
So that makes sense why your friend has been feeling her baby move already.
Yeah.
She already knows what the feeling feels like now, too.
Yeah. So she's at 18 weeks. I think she's been feeling them for 4 weeks already.
Right. Some has to do with the baby's position. And when the baby kicks facing in, it's more difficult to perceive. So she could have her back out.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what she's like. We got it's not this coming week, but the week after, we got another ultrasound. Yeah, so.
Close.
I got a dentist appointment this coming week.
Oh.
Get these toothies cleaned.
Get them teethers.
Apparently, I think we've been over this on here, but you can get a lot more, what's it called? It's not gingivitis. Plaque buildup.
Yeah, periodontitis something.
Periodontitis.
Periodontitis.
I made that up. It's probably close, though.
Let's see. Here's your symptoms for week 19. Increased appetite. Having a hard time staying away from the fridge. Your appetite's gone up for sure.
Yeah.
Keep tempting junk foods out of the house. Instead, fill your kitchen with nutritious goodies.
I'm trying.
But do occasionally allow yourself to indulge in some treats that you don't end up binging on later.
I'm having like a brownie a day. That's a good ratio, right?
We found out you were all about some Rice Krispie treats.
Oh God. Yeah, those are on the grocery list. The pecan swirls from Little Debbie, those have been good to have on hand. Because like it's not an entire cinnamon roll, but it gives me that cinnamon roll feel.
Oh, some of these are the same from last week. So I'll just go over them. I don't have to read the whole thing. Stretch marks, constipation, faintness or dizziness, backaches, and stuffy nose.
I feel like my nose has been stuffier. That is true. All right, baby size comparison. You want to hear the dumb ones?
Give me the dumb ones.
All right, the movie and TV props. Your baby is as big as an alien in the claw machine from Toy Story.
Nice.
What?
Wouldn't that just be an alien, like a claw? Wait, alien in the claw machine. Okay, never mind.
From Toy Story.
Okay.
Extraordinarily specific.
Although they have the little, they got the little bubble over their head. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the 3 eyes. Yeah, There it is.
And the 80s and 90s nostalgia is your baby is as big as a Viewmaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for anybody younger than the 80s or 90s, that's when the little red thing you held up to your eyes and they had a little trigger on the right that would change the projector slide over one time to a different scene each time.
And they were like 3D and like multi-depth. And
I had a She-Ra one. And
I just had a blue. I had a blue viewfinder, and I had like one was like I remember specifically was just slides of Disney World.
Wow.
The park. And so just different shots of Disney World, which is kind of neat. And if you watched, here's my nostalgia for her. If you watched Saturday Night Live in the 90s and you know the Chris Kattan bit, Mango. It's Mango.
Yeah, I was loving mango at the beginning of the pregnancy, and now I can't be bothered to.
You tried mango today, and you were like, I can't.
Well, we had one, and it looked like it was good. It wasn't. It'd been in the fridge for a while, but it hadn't gone bad or anything. It just, I think we didn't let it ripen enough before it got put in the fridge.
But it had been there for a while.
Yeah, but they don't ripen once you put them in the fridge.
So we have to leave them out.
That's why we've had crappy avocados too, like where they weren't ripe enough, even though they've been in there for 2 weeks. Yeah,
slows it down.
Yeah. And like if you take them out after they've been in there that long, they just go bad immediately, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's a tightrope.
Throwback. I got some tips for you this week.
Tightrope. You missed my
you were asking me about it. Is it tightrope or tightrope? And I was like, okay, Mom, it's tightrope. A type rope doesn't exist. Here's your tips this week. And something we can't do. Find a childbirth class. Well, can't do that right now.
No.
Think about 3D ultrasounds. It's tempting to book an appointment for a 3D or 4D sonogram at your local prenatal portrait center, especially if you've seen these stunning baby portraits and videos online. But studies evaluating the safety of ultrasound technology show mixed results. At this point, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists says there is no reliable scientific evidence showing that ultrasound is harmful to a developing fetus, but the potential risks are still unclear. What? The 3D, well, I'll say this. The 3D and 4D ultrasounds are kind of creepy.
Yeah. But I want to see her face.
But you want to see it. So is this one coming up? Is this just a regular ultrasound?
I have no clue. They've been throwing me curveballs left and right, man. I know this is the anatomy scan. This is like
they want to measure.
They want to measure her heart and liver and lungs and all that stuff. So
it's an important one.
It is the big one. But everybody that I've talked to says that we should be able to, like, if they do a 40, when you'll be able to see like her facial features and they will resemble us.
Does
I think that's cool.
Our doctor offer those 40s?
Yeah.
No, we might as well just have him do it then. At this point, would we see those features?
That's what I've been told. We can double check so we're not like wasting our extra,
I want to make sure
extra ultrasound I want, but
I want to make sure like 19 weeks is good for that, or if we need to wait to 24 or something.
We'll be at 21 when we go in.
Okay.
So,
let's see. This is something near and dear to you. Get some fiber.
Yay!
Eat a healthy amount of fiber. Drink lots of fluids, and make sure to take the time to go when you have to go. On the flip side of fiber, enough is like a feast. Too much can be a gas accident waiting to happen.
It is a
fiber bomb.
A delicate tightrope to walk.
It is a awkward tightrope. If you're fitting fiber in for the first time in your life, introduce it slowly and gently. Next step, make a sandwich. Wraps, paninis, double-deckers, no matter what type of sandwich you crave, make it a healthy one with lean protein, fiber, and whole grains. Fill it to bursting with greens to optimize your lunch. Just forego the sprouts as they can harbor bacteria, and skip additional lunch meats for creative solutions.
Okay. I like to, I haven't even thought of this. It's going on the list now. A sandwich I used to make in college all the time, which you're supposed to avoid cheese just because of all the things you're trying to do with your fiber.
All the digestive things, yes.
Yeah. So, but it was a delicious sandwich. And if you're not pregnant, feel free to try it. It's zucchini, tomato, whole milk mozzarella, but drained. Like you can't do the kind that's in the water and real sloshy because then it's just going to make a mess. And then red wine vinegar and basil. Basil leaves, like whole basil leaves. And basically put all that together in a panini press. And it's delicious. Yes. And go light on the red wine vinegar.
Is that like a caprese sandwich?
It's so good. I stole it from a restaurant menu, and I cannot remember what restaurant it was from. But I made that stuff in college all the time.
I think you've made it a couple times here.
Oh man, I definitely made it when we lived in Atlanta a few times. I remember. But the zucchini is a good meat substitute because it's like real hearty.
Yeah.
And it's delicious. And I got zucchini on the grocery list right now too, because one of my new favorite snacks is just sliced zucchini with nutritional yeast and black pepper.
Oh yeah, because it makes it almost like tempura.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
It's pretty awesome. Eat small meals all day. The more food you pump in at a sitting, the more gas you'll be pumping out. Oof. Fueling
That's
up
horrible.
On 6 small meals a day or 3 moderate ones plus 2 or 3 snacks will not only keep your nutrition levels constant to better nourish the baby, they'll prevent your digestive system from getting overloaded. Keep gassiness in check.
So where do black bean brownies and pecan swirls fall on this healthy snack list?
They would be on the non-healthy side.
Beans are good. They're fiber.
I mean, that's true. It's better than having like full-on brownies.
Sure.
Whatever we can do to, excuse it.
I'm going to go have one right after this.
You had one before this.
I did not. I had a pecan.
A pinwheel?
A pinwheel. That's what they are. Sorry.
A pecan pinwheel?
Yeah.
All right. Last one. Limit sun exposure. That's not really hard right now.
Not a problem.
Skin discoloration is common during pregnancy, although you can't do anything about the biggest culprit, hormones. You can limit your exposure to the sun, which seems to make skin discolorations darker.
What's the biggest culprit?
Hormones.
Jesus, you're so weird.
Wear a hat with a visor that shades your face, and pull out those long sleeves if it's not too hot outside. And as always, apply sunscreen with SPF of 30 or higher on your skin, even if you aren't going outside. What?
No, not doing that.
All right. You got to put on the sunscreen when we get out of here.
That's a waste of sunscreen.
Yeah.
Why would I put sunscreen on in the
Why
basement?
would I do this to myself? Why do I wear this hat?
Why do I want to smell that way in the basement?
So yeah, there we go. Week 19. We're moving into the 20s next week.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. It's so fast. It's so fast.
It's only going to go faster.
Shut up. You're going to give me a panic attack. Do it again. Do it again. I'm going to come across this table.
Out of respect for the pregnant wife, I won't do it again.
Yes, you will.
No.
You got no respect.
Mm-mm.
No respect.
It's a projector on the sound machine.
What?
What?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be in full on panic mode in like 4 weeks. I'm pretty sure.
It'll be all right. We'll make it. Anything else you want to bring up to the people, or are we good?
No, they don't care.
No. All right. They've had enough of
I think so.
our stuff. I lost this week. I lost completely.
Oh yeah.
Big time. 2-0. 2-0. All right, guys. As always, you can check us out on Twitter.
Oh, rate, review, and subscribe.
Please, if you're listening to us somewhere where you can do this, rate, review, subscribe. It helps us out immensely. You can reach out to us on Twitter at @PUnpreparedPod, or you can email us parentallyunprepared@gmail.com. Guys, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in about a week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.